Kia ora everybody and welcome to the Wētā Workshop Unleashed tour space here in Tamaki Makaurau, Aotearoa, Auckland, New Zealand. My name is Daniel Falconer. I'm the art director of the collectibles here at Wētā Workshop. I've been with the company 25 years, so it is my great pleasure to be here on the day we reveal all our Lord of the Rings goodies, because that's the stuff that I'm super passionate about. Thank you to all of you for joining us live online, and those of us who will be tuning in later via YouTube. Thank you to our fantastic live audience here who are joining us. Yay! So cool of you guys to be here with us. Really appreciate it. Joining me this morning to make our live reviews is my very own dark muse, Mr. Mark Dews himself.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. If you're seeing us, if you're tuning in, you are watching the right thing in the right place at the right time. Thank you.
So this year is the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring.
That's right.
So we're going to have a rolling series of reveals over the course of the next 5 months leading up to December when the film actually turns 20. But we have a number of cool special things to show you here today. So Mark, why don't you help me out? We'll start small, shall we? And then we'll build up from here. We'll start a miniature. We'll start
small. It can only get bigger and better. All right, let's begin.
All right.
There we go.
Should we take off the Perspex? So what folks probably don't know is while Mark is our product manager, he's also the art director of our Figures of Fandom, and that's where we'll start today, is with the first two new 2021 Figures of Fandom characters from the Fellowship of the Ring. So what have we got here, Mark? We got Lurtz.
Lurtz and Aragorn.
So why did you choose these characters, and can you tell me a little bit about the poses?
Well, I chose these characters because they're both very special to not only the whole trilogy, but especially in the Fellowship, the first film. And they both meet at some point in the film, and they both have their moment, but I felt that at different parts in the film, they are depicted as really heroic, really cool. And I guess we'll start with Lurtz. I guess those who know me know that I'm a man of action, and that's the kind of art direction I bring to the Figures of Fandom range. And nothing screams more that I am a brute than an orc who picks up a shield and uses it as a ranged weapon. So I've captured him here in the moment, loading up his shoulder, just about to throw the shield and impale Aragorn against the tree. And I thought like having this kind of dynamic pose brought a lot of energy, created a really cool silhouette. So I also noticed that no one else had chosen this pose. Everyone likes to go more towards
the bow, right?
and arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it was at the moment we stumbled upon this, everyone was really happy. They were excited. He was excited as well. That's the exact face. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Finally. So that's how I ended up directing and steering more towards this style and this pose.
Sculpted by
This is sculpted by York Yu.
Yep. Aragorn, meanwhile.
Aragorn over here. Now, Aragorn also has another special moment. There's a scene where he's on top of the weather top, and he basically busts into the scene when there's 5 ring wraiths about to, surround Frodo and capture him. And basically he just enters that scene with a flurry of furious steel and flame. And I thought this would be just a great moment to capture of him just like, twisting and fly,
and dual wielding, right?
Dual wielding, He's unlocked the dual wielding skill tree at this moment. So
it's kind of the ethos of the Figures of Fandom, isn't it? That we have them in a high action dynamic moment,
right? A lot of energy, a lot of dynamicism. That's the word.
Nice.
Yeah. And this is sculpted by Ryan Serrano and Daniel Cockasell. Yeah.
Good stuff. Also here in front of us we have our mini helms. So it's been a wee while since we had some entries into the mini helm line, but I'm super excited about the mini helm lines because I personally collect these, so I was really excited to see these coming back. We will be revealing 5 mini helms this year. Today we're revealing the first 3 of those. One from the Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers in this case, is the Uruk-hai Captain, and 2 from the Battle of the Five Armies. Let's start with the Uruk-hai Captain. So When we were designing urukai back in the day, we wanted to distinguish them from the regular orcs by actually having them very regimented, very, very organized and controlled. And that meant that we had very, very distinct armor types and helmet types for the different divisions. We had sappers, we had pikesmen, we had swordsmen, we had scouts and berserkers. And amongst those, we also had these kind of lieutenants, these bosses, overseen by the general, who was the guy that you saw walking up onto the rock in the movie and sort of doing his, thing. That sounded more like a Wookiee than an Urukai, didn't it?
That's right. We can lower the pitch and
you guys change that, edit that in post, so anyway, so this guy is one of the captains. He would have been in charge of one of the divisions, and we rationalized that because these guys are fighting in the dark and the rain, it would be important for their troops to be able to distinguish them from the other rank and file uruks. So they would each have a very, very distinct crest on their helmet. So we made about 4 or 5 different ones. They each had a slightly different shape to the crest, and then they also had different markings on the crest. Some kind of different configuration of either a blood smear or red ochre paint or perhaps like a white chalk mark on it that had the white hand element, being that the white hand is Saruman, the white symbol that he had all his urukai put on themselves. There's that scene in the movie where they all like grab white paint and they smear it on themselves and tipping blood on.
Helmet, shields.
Yep, so it's cool to have a really cool, colourful bad guy coming back into the mix for the Lord of the Rings helm line. And then he is flanked on either side here by 2 Ringwraith helms from the Dol Guldur battle scene in the Battle of the Five Armies. We'll start over here with the Ringwraith of Harad. Harad literally means south. And here is the Ringwraith of Khand. So the notion that Peter had was that in the scene you're seeing the wraiths appear in like their spectral armor, and it's a throwback to their ancient past, to maybe the cultures that they represented when they were kings of men, when they were sorcerers, and they were then enlisted to Sauron's service, tricked into serving him by the gift of the magic rings. Harad literally means south, so the Haradrim were the people of the south, so it's a large area. So we conceived the look of this particular helmet with the notion that it was vaguely similar to the Haradrim that we saw in the Lord of the Rings trilogy as well. This character's long since forgotten his name, has no idea who he is. All he is now is a Ringwraith, but in this form you do see some suggestion of his heritage. Likewise, Khand is a realm in the southeast of Middle-earth. And this particular, we'd never been to Khand in any of the movies or anything like that, so we had complete free reign to design whatever we wanted for that. So this Ringwraith has quite a unique and original helmet look that we've designed for him, with almost like a bird-like beak to it. So yeah, super happy to be adding those to my helmet line.
Definitely.
We'll have 2 more coming later in the year. Both of those will be good guys to balance the bad guys. So look forward to reveals of those very, very soon.
Yep, and we've got more reveals. This is not it. There's so much more happening.
Just getting warmed up.
Yeah, just getting warm up. What a great warm up.
Thank you so much for joining me, Mark.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Now I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine who's going to be joining me for the next reveal, Mr. Jules German, who is the team leader of our paint department. And we'll wander over here and see what Jules has got ready for us. Dude, oh my goodness, what are you doing?
What the hell, Dan? What the hell?
This is supposed to be secret. You're not supposed to show. Okay, Jen, we just didn't see that.
Don't worry about it. It's only the chair.
Oh,
It's only the chair. Don't worry
it.
about it, man.
What happened to keep it secret, keep it safe?
Oh, shush.
You guys can edit that out, right? So we're all good. Cool. All good. Just pretend you didn't see that, folks, and we'll just carry on.
Yeah, Dan.
Let's do that again.
Dan.
So, introducing my good friend, Jules German. Hey, man, how's it going?
Good.
Great.
Hello.
So,
Introducing some collectibles.
great. Let's introduce this collectible that we've got standing here under the plinth here in secret. This is one of the key bad guys. In fact, the key bad guy of the Lord of the Rings, a character that we had to revisit for the Fellowship of the Ring. This right here is going to be...
Oh, he's a personal favourite of mine.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Behold, the Dark Lord Sauron in all his glory.
Sorry.
So it's been a few years since we visited Sauron in collectible form. Here he is in 1/6 scale glory. The main differences between this Sauron and the version that we made 15 years ago is the pose. Obviously, in this case, he is striding down Mount Doom, ready to come and lay waste to his enemies. That might be a hint also to collectors that perhaps there may be more in this particular scene of characters coming in the future. In this instance, we decided that we would give him some dramatic underlighting with a bit of the red lava there. So this piece actually is fully lit, and will come with lights and lava that twinkles and ripples underneath there. One of the other key differences about this guy too, of course, is actually the paint job, which is why I wanted Jules here to help me talk about it.
Yeah, thank you. So this is our second Sauron, and the first one we did 15 years or so ago, and I own that one and I love it. But this one, this is my 7th year at Wētā Workshop, but in the paint team we've got some Lord of the Rings alumni that have been with the company for 17, 20 years. And Sirisak painted this one, and the cool thing about that is Sirisak actually was part of the team that painted the original armour for the film.
Right, yeah.
So there's a direct tie back to the film, which I think is really awesome. And then I don't know if I should really say this, but the first paint job was actually incorrect.
Well, a lot of people just assume that Sauron is kind of just like black and silver, but there's colour in there, right?
There's lots of colour in there, and like every day I get a coffee at the the lunchroom at work, I get to walk past this armour, and it's really quite colourful. And Sirisak, of course, knows this, so he got the colours into this one.
Yeah, so there's actually lots of sort of oily qualities to it. There are purples and blues and yellows going on in here, which I think really helps make it ping.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The other cool thing about this particular statue is, while we're depicting him in the moment in the beginning of the Fellowship of the Ring where he's coming down the mountain, he's going to lay waste to his enemies, and there's that sort of power walk that he does into the scene. He's holding his mace like he's going to lay the smack down on them. But we thought it'd be kind of fun to also include a swap out element. So in addition to the hand holding the mace, which also has the ring of power here with its beautiful orange runes on it, fiery runes there. You can actually swap it out, and he will also come with the sword. So you may not remember the swords from the film, and that's because it didn't actually appear in the film. But we actually designed this for a scene that ended up not being used in The Return of the King, where there was going to be the notion that Sauron would appear in some form at the Battle of the Black Gates, and that Aragorn would actually fight with them. Now, in the movie, that was changed because thematically it didn't really make sense that Sauron, who no longer has a body, could do that. So Peter decided not to do that in the final film. But instead, Aragorn fights a battle troll in that sequence. But originally, that was conceived with the notion that he would be fighting Sauron and that Sauron would use a sword. And so this is the sword that was designed by one of my good mates, Warren Mahi, back in the day, for Sauron to use in fighting Aragorn. And you will notice that while he has the ring when he's holding the mace, when he's holding the sword he does not, because of course at that point in the story he doesn't have the one ring of power. So yeah, so that comes in 2 pieces and will plug together and into his wrist there.
It's great. I mean, I think one of the many attractions of Lord of the Rings and Tolkien is the kind of the pseudo history we get, and so this one really speaks to that kind of extra nerdy cool stuff.
Yep, that's the stuff that I love that stuff. I mean, that's where I live. Managed to make a career out of knowing that stuff. So thank goodness that
well
people
done,
care.
Sir.
Oh, thanks, man. Do you want to maybe give us a hand with this one as well?
Of course.
To join us for this next reveal for what I would consider the pièce de résistance of our Lord of the Rings reveals today, our Masters Collection piece, will be Brigitte West. Where are you, Brigitte? There she is.
Hi.
So Brigitte was a sculptor on the Lord of the Rings movies way back in the day. Worked for the 3'6" art department, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So you might have recognised in the film some of the things that Brigitte sculpted, which included a lot of the figurative pieces, the statuary, like when the characters ride into Minas Tirith, and there's this amazing big statue of what looks like Isildur or possibly Anarion on horseback. That was one of yours, right?
Yeah. It's Equestrian.
Yep.
Yeah. Some in Rivendell.
Yeah, some of the ones in Rivendell.
Yeah.
Awesome, yeah. So as soon as we were finished on the movies, we poached Brigitte to come and join our team at Wētā Workshop, and you have been sculpting collectibles for us ever since. Ever since. So would you care to help me unveil what we have for people for the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship of the Ring? And let's lift this off. This is the next entry in our Masters Collection line, and the thing that's great about the Masters Collection pieces is that we really get the opportunity to go to town. So we leave nothing on the field, as it were. So this particular piece here depicts the scene in the movie where the Ringwraith is hunting for the hobbits, and they are hiding off the road, escape off the road we call it. They're hiding from him. It was also one of the scenes that was shot first when we began filming the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring, way back in whenever, 20 plus years ago.
Yes.
So this was another piece that was also something we do a lot at Workshop now, which is we mix both traditional techniques and modern cutting-edge techniques. So there's some digital sculpting in this. It was a collaborative piece. Gary Hunt, who was also worked with you back in the art department, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yep. So Gary sculpted the hobbits digitally, and Brigitte sculpted the rest of the piece, the wraith, the tree, the environment, the horse, all physically. What's your medium of choice, Brigitte?
I like to use a hard plasticine. It's called Chavant.
Right, and that allows you to get
really good for fine details.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, the crisp details, which of course you really need on something like this. It's astonishing to me that all the tack on the horse, all these little details, it's all plasticine, which just speaks to also the accessible quality of this kind of stuff. You know, it's like we should sculpt, we should make stuff.
Oh, absolutely. The horses, Brigitte's horses in the paint department get fought over a little bit. We've painted a few over the years, and they're always astonishingly good.
So Brigitte knows these characters inside and out because you also sculpted like the very first ones that we made way back like 20 years ago. We made a bust of the ring wraith and a bust of the horse that went together.
That's right.
Those were Brigitte. Yeah, super cool. So I think the thing that really appeals to me about the Masters Collection pieces is the ability that we can bring to it, not just to depict single figures, but to actually do some storytelling within a scene. And so that's really what's going on here. There's a lovely flow here with the horse looking this way, the wraith hunting that way. He's peering over the edge like he's almost about to capture these hobbits. You guys probably can't see this from here, but we'll be posting lots of pictures online for you to be able to see this. But we have, there are little wee worms writhing in the ground around the hobbit's feet, just like in the film. Super cool. You've got the spider crawling on Merry's shoulder down there, and he's holding his bag of mushrooms that they're getting ready, they're going to throw to escape.
There's secret things all over.
Centipede.
Oh, the centipede as well.
Yeah.
Show me the centipede. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. Great, we've got mushrooms everywhere, and of course, you know, this is in the books is that chapter, the shortcut to mushrooms, and that's what Merry has been picking. So around the back of the sculpture, we actually have a little grove of nice-looking, yummy-looking portobello mushrooms.
And the carrot.
And the carrot. We have the carrot. Oh, I broke something. We have the carrot. Yeah, it's all there.
This one, like the. Oh, sorry, Dan.
No, go ahead.
Everybody loves painting the portraits, and in here, I mean 6, but really 5 because of the wraith. And we've got the horse's portrait is amazing, and each one of the hobbits has a very distinctive expression going on. It's a fantastic sculpture.
Frodo is in the moment where he's just about getting ready to put the ring on.
Yep.
Pippin's got that slightly gormless look that only Pippin can do. You know, looking up. It's great. And of course, with a piece like this, because it's elevated and you've got all these roots coming down, the horse is standing up quite high, so you've got this big area at the back, and we didn't want to just make that blank. So there's actually stuff going on back there too. There's even like a little rabbit that's hiding, trying to get as far away from the wraith as possible in its hole.
Terrified, shivering.
No matter what angle this is viewed from, there's something amazing going on. There's some tension, or there's a point of interest. It's a true 360-degree piece.
Yeah. So
Coffee table stuff.
I think honestly, you know, hats off to you and Gary. I think you've pulled off something super special. I'm so excited. I'm so glad we can finally share it with the world. So great job.
Quite epic to work on this year.
Awesome. But that's our last major reveal today, but we actually have a little something else as well. As I said, we will be revealing more over the coming months. We've got new collectibles coming from the Lord of the Rings all the way through to December when we celebrate the actual final anniversary. But we just couldn't resist. This was ready. We don't know yet how much this is going to cost. We don't know yet exactly when it'll be available. We're figuring all those things out, but we have the prototype and it was too cool not to bring. So here we have Galadriel's file.
Light up.
Yes.
We're all about lights this year.
Little light in the base there that actually illuminates, so when you pop it on there, it actually transmits up through there. Our plan is to produce this in glass, so hopefully in the coming weeks, you guys, if you keep an eye on our feed, sign up to the newsletter for alerts, you'll learn when this is going to become available and when you can add it to your collection.
And many more.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got lots.
It's the most accurate of the Galadriel file replicas produced to date. We had excellent reference of the original prop that was made for the Lord of the Rings, which is actually subtly different to the Hobbit version too, if people, eagle-eyed fans want to pay attention.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's some little differences in there, but yeah, this is the one.
All right.
Awesome.
I'll tuck this back here.
So yeah, stay tuned, folks. Thank you everyone who joined us in person. Really appreciate you all coming down here to see us. Please enjoy the show today and mix and come and hang out with us. If you're in Auckland, if you're in Tamaki Makaurau and you want to come down and meet us, please come and see us here today. I'll be here all day. Jules, you'll be here, right?
Yep, of course.
Brigitte's going to be here. We'll be here tomorrow as well. For those of you joining us online, please come back tomorrow when we'll be revealing more cool stuff. This time it'll be the mini epics.
Mini epics indeed.
From a number of new properties, including some stuff that maybe we haven't mentioned before.
It's pretty exciting. New territory for us and exciting stuff, exciting territory.
Yeah. Thank you everyone. Really appreciate it. See you all then. Jules, what the hell, man?